before we go to the audience, just get from each one of you a take-home message. You know, not the 6 things, 1 thing, Tony, that you can tell this audience that will change their financial situation. They'll move from being broke to having a little bit of hope. Ashika, some kind of a mental wellness take-home value. Something, 1 thing, don't tell them 10 things, 1 thing, baby steps. Let's just, take it easy. And of course, Jedd, 1 thing from a physical wellness. You said exercise, 1 thing that they can, this audience can take home tonight. So, do you want to start, Tony, or we start with the lady first?
Happy?
Yeah, you can go for it.
All right. I think for me, I would say how to manage stress in a holistic way. Stress is something that affects every aspect of your well-being, and it is in your control because stress is an internal reaction to an external event. And what that means is you have the ability to respond versus react to stress. And there are techniques to be able to do that.
I think you just hit the nail on the head. We, me and Mehlape, we do off the clock interview. We interview CEOs, business leaders. I see Richard Makaba in the room, the CEO of Cash Converters. He's converting cash every day. What has been coming through out of off the clock has been, the kind of a high level of stress, lack of sleep, depression. Of course, they don't talk about it on the set. And that's why we kind of are trying to spotlight it here and amplify it here and make sure that we focus into that. But some of the younger CEOs and leaders, what we're hearing from them, they say, I've got no time to play around. I just work. Which we say, look, work-life balance. Try to leave work at work. Try harder. Most of them will tell you that, you can't afford work-life balance. It's like, you need to be very deliberate about it. Even me, I try to be very deliberate about it. There's some hobbies that I like, and I just get consumed into them. I like movies. I like to DJ, even at my age. Just forget about work and listen to the songs and music and put them together. So that talks to the point that you're talking about, being deliberate, being aware of it. So, Tony, what is 1 thing that the audience can take home that will change them from a financial wellness standpoint?
I think it's kind of 2 points that I'm going to kind of mix into one. I think the key thing is that's what's called financial planning, is that you need to plan. Okay, and a plan is not just kind of something that's up in your top of your head, but a written, documented plan that you review. And I think just the second thing that leads on to that is seek advice. Don't think you know everything. Everybody's an expert in their field of expertise, so don't be scared to ask somebody for advice and find a trusted person that can help you through that. Those 2 are the most important components. I know you said 1, but those 2 are really important.
That's a bonus.
Okay, yeah.
Jedd? Always ready.
I echo Ashika, what you're saying is that this is in your control. I think it's an important kind of reflection. And just for me, if there's 1 thing to kind of do that could leverage your health is exercise. And it can take a range of different formats, and I could spend the next 3 hours talking about exercise. But if there's just 1 thing, is to start the exercise, and don't say you're going to start like next week, 1st of March, tomorrow morning, start the exercising. If you do exercise harder, there is no bigger lever to pull that's going to have that impact on your physical health, your mental health, your psychological health, as is going to be to exercise effectively, which we can talk about for a long time there.
But Jedd, that stuff is hard, right? I've been talking to Richard there. He runs Cash Converters. The business, I think 60% of the business is financial services, and the other 40% is people bring in their, New Year resolutions, golf clubs. They sell it. Gym equipment that they said they're going to change their body, get that 6-pack back. That stuff is it's hard, right?
Yeah, I think the key is you need to find the inner motivation and the reason why. And Look, behavior change is complicated, you know. I mean, we do this work and we take these women that are over 60 years old and try and get them to do resistance training in a gym. And it's that can fundamentally change their life. Fundamentally change their life in almost all aspects of their life. I'm not saying they're going to become bodybuilders. They just need to build a little bit of muscle mass and functionality and understand the muscle as what's referred to as an endocrine organ. And it's a step, and there's a lot of psychological work in understanding how to trigger behavior change in someone. But if you can really understand why, and I'm no mental health kind of behavior change person. I'm rooted in discipline as a kind of a motivator. But if there's no other motivation, I mean, some people start to do it for their children, their grandchildren, their spouses, their personal self, whatever else it might be. And then there's the whole kind of psychological, scientific cascade of building habits. And some of it, you just have to take the first step. You know, you just have to go to the gym, start doing the work, get into the habits.
Okay.